Hello, everybody. We are gathered here today for the 188th session for Mindfulness for Beginners in English. Today is Saturday, the 14th of June, 2025. I'd like to welcome Venerable Rohini for this session. We'd also like to welcome everyone who's participating via Zoom, Facebook live stream, or whoever may be watching later as well. Our program, as usual, will commence with the in-session practice of mindfulness. It will then be followed by the talk on today's topic, which is prioritization. We will then move on to any reports that had been sent to us by you listeners and participants, and then we will move on to any questions if we have time. To start today's session, to begin with in-session practice of mindfulness, I now invite Venerable Rohini.
Thank you, Sonali. Hello, everyone. So in sessions, I think today we are going to do a mindful walk. Last week as mindful sitting, yeah. So mindful walk, maybe you all know about the mindful walk. You used to do that maybe, but in brief I will explain what it is for newcomers, if there is any. Mindful walk is walking with bare attention to the body. So bare attention to whatever happening right now. So that is the main focus of mindful walk, even though mindful sitting is the same. So you walking pace is depend on you. It is not really something we fix, go fast or go slow or nothing, something like that. You just can choose your own speed and you just walk. So usually I say when you choose a walking path for walking practice, mindful walk, it should be obstacle free. The furniture or anything you have to go around it or something like that, it is not good for beginners. Once you practice, once you establish your mindfulness, it is okay, but for a beginner, it is not good. So if you can find a direct line, direct path to walk up and down, that is the best. And the other thing is, if you can walk on a natural ground, it is also best. Why? Because of the natural ground, you can feel it in a nice way. I mean, not nice, but you can feel it. You can have that prominent feeling to focus on. So one thing is from natural ground is that. The second thing is it massage your soul. So by massaging, it gives you some kind of energy throughout your body. That's also a benefit of going or walking on a natural ground. But if you can't find anything, something like that, it is okay to walk on cement floor or tile floor or carpet, wherever possible. But what you must understand, you don't need to think, or you don't need to by force or having any rigid demand saying that I should keep my attention on my body. But wherever it go, if you know you are on sound, if you are listening, if you know you are a listener now, so it is also mindful listening. So likewise, whatever happening around you, if you know that, if you are aware about it, then you are mindful. So not to worry about something that distract from your focal point. So mainly you keep your focal point as feet or the body or the movement in your body while you are walking. But whenever it distracted, don't worry about distractions, because distractions are there. If we are worried about it, then distractions come more and more. Distractions happen more and more. So the best thing is just to not to worry about distraction. If you can focus on the main object, whatever you choose, it is good. If not, it's also okay. So not to worry and not to grab or not to hold it tightly in your mind, I should do this. Just be aware about what is happening around you right now. So shall we do um, mindful walk for 15 minutes together? Okay, everyone. If we look back the 15 minutes practice, we all might say that we got distraction from different things. Some people get distraction from sounds. Some people get distraction from thoughts. Some get from pain. So some get a combination of 2 or 3. So likewise, we always get distraction. Even though well-practiced one in the beginning, they might get distraction from those things, especially from thoughts and pains. But the thing is, each and everyone is different from the others. Some get distraction from sounds, but someone else might will not care about the sounds. It's okay with the sound, but maybe not with the thoughts. So likewise, different people get distraction from different things according to our attitudes and according to our mindset. So whatever the distractions, when we practice, whatever the distractions are distractions. If we put our attention to the distractions, then we will not go along in the path. We will stuck there. But if you just avoid, not trying to avoid, but let go. Letting go of distraction is the best thing. If you try to avoid it or if you try to get rid of it, then it comes more and more. It is the way mind act. So mind usually like to do whatever we say is no. Whenever we say no, that things comes more and more. So we need to think, we need to keep that in mind when we practice. Whatever the distractions are there, just ignore it. Just try to not to avoid it, not to get rid of it. That having that kind of mentality is a kind of hatred feeling. So that hatred feelings keep as like a barrier to your path, your practice. The hatred is there when you try to avoid or when you try to get rid of those disturbances or distractions. So saying that, I will hand over to you, Sonali.
Thank you, Venerable Rohini. So next on the agenda is the talk on today's topic. This week we will continue the topic we started last week, which is on prioritization. And I'd like to now invite Venerable Rohini to start the talk on today's topic.
Thank you, Sonali, again. Prioritization. Actually, it is a very important strategy for managing the life towards successful life or towards success. If we want to have a kind of success in whatever we do, we need to have some kind of strategies. So the prioritization is one of the best strategies we need to look at. Otherwise, we will usually we get lost in other distractions or other things, among other things. So how we do this prioritizing is the important thing. How we do it, how can we do it, and what are the ways to do it? Because sometimes we can prioritize things, but the execution is the difficult one. We can do prioritizing, but the whatever we kept as a priority to continuation is the difficult one. So however we do it, we need to find the strategies to do that. So life is not a simple thing. The life is like a balance of like social life, job, relationships, planning for the future, present moment. Lot of things are happening around us. So because of those things, we are constantly juggling, not balancing, actually unable to balance. Because of the unmindful nature, so we always struggle to be mindful. So because of that unmindful nature of mind, so we are we can't balance. So we are unable to balance the life demands. So because of that, we are constantly juggling. So if we can combine prioritization and the mindfulness together, I think there could be the answer. That could be the answer. So if we can combine the mindfulness and the prioritization, I feel like we can achieve more by doing less. So achieving more by doing less is the efficient way. So the thing is, how can we do this? How can this help us to stay focused? How can this help us to work efficiently? How can we feel more satisfied with life? So those are the questions comes with prioritization, and if the prioritization combined with mindfulness is the way. So let's talk about it. The life is, if we take life as a topic, we are not alone. You are not alone. Always surrounded by lots of things like exams, workload, social life, mental health, physical health, future planning, about children's, relatives, family life. Lot of things are happening around you. So the reality is we are entangled with those things. We are lost in those things. There's 100,000 of them are surrounded. So because of these things, the reality is life is an endless stream of duties, responsibilities, obligations. All of these are those things are there. Most of you feel, or even for me, feel like sometimes with the distractions and all those things happening around me or around you, they are pulling out us from our central point, pulling to this way and pulling to that way and pulling to the up and pulling to down, or all the way they pull us. So because of that, we always exhausted. We feel at the end of the day, we feel like exhausted. Because the colleagues are distracting us, the team leader is distracting us, the boss distracting us, the transport, buying, selling, necessities, all those things are distracting us, pulling us away. Because of that, we feel like always exhausted. No energy, lack of energy is the result. So after all, we are doing a lot of work, exhausted, but the question is, what really we actually accomplished our missions? Read the daily target. If anyone can say, okay, I did reach the target and whatever I prioritized for today, I did complete and now I am feeling better and I feel like happy and so on, it's a very lucky thing. But most of us, we can't say that because of all the outer world is pulling us away from our center point. Because of those distractions, we exhausted and we are not accomplished. Ultimately, we are not accomplish our workload or whatever we prioritize in the beginning, early in the morning. If we couldn't finish it, but is still exhausted, then we are not accomplished. It is not efficient. So the thing is, we can't do everything. And we don't have to do everything also. If we can do what matters and what is on purpose, then that is the most important thing. So the problem is the finding what is on purpose, or finding what is the real need for my energy or to energy. That is the problem. We can't find it. So importance of prioritization comes with this. First thing we need to remember, we don't need to do everything. There are plenty of ideas, advices, recommendations, and from other people as well as you inside yourself. You also giving many ideas and thoughts and advices to yourself. So those are the things you want to execute, but you can't do it. So focus on what truly matter. If you can focus on what truly matter, that is the best thing in prioritization. But once Buddha said, when you need to do something, ask this question: can I do it or can't I do it? So if your answer is can I do, I can do, then you need to question again, should I do or shouldn't I do? So there's something whether I can do or I can't do, you can decide it. Whenever you see I can do, then you need to ask the second question, should I do? So if the answer for should I do is also yes, then you need to ask, is it the right time? So Buddha said, these three questions you need to ask whenever, before you say something and before you do something. So for especially with outside people and places and wherever you are working, so you need to, if you can ask these three questions, then you can prioritize in a very simple manner. Your things can prioritize. So the understanding the prioritization is also a matter. It is very important. If you can't understand the prioritization process and it is as a key element, then you can't find the priority. So avoiding distractions is also prioritization. If you want to success that priority, if you want to success it, then you have to avoid, according to the theory, you have to avoid the distractions. So my thinking is, rather than avoiding distractions, if you can ignore it. So the avoiding is before you know it, you can avoid. That's good, yes. But whenever it comes, the distractions comes, then you have to face it. Then if you can ignore it, if you have to ignore it, then you have to have a good kind of well-established mindfulness, well-established healthy mind. So if you really want to prioritize something, then if you do prioritize it according to Buddha's words, with that three questions: can I, should I, is it the right time? So if you can do that, then it can be a smart choice with that prioritization, whatever you choose. So prioritization is something about not managing your time. It is not only the managing the time, it is also managing your energy. In that sense, if you want to manage your energy, you really need to deserve, or you need to make your attention to find the right thing, whatever you are going to do in among hundred of things. So what truly moves you forward? So you need to find whatever. There are many things you can do. There are prioritized, maybe 5-10 priorities, but you need to find whatever you are helpful for moving forward. if it is not helping you to move forward, then it is not okay. Then it is not good priority. So what aligns with your goals will also a value. If it is allow to achieve your goals, then also it is okay. For example, if you want to practice mindful walk, now you want to practice mindful walk, but the distractions comes with your video game. So you like to play video game, and it is time for your mindful walk. Then the distraction is from the video game. So it is very attractive video game. So your mind always goes towards that game, not for the mindful walk. So then you need to question yourself, that 3 questions, and then you can understand which one you need to choose. So if it is going with your goals and values, then you can choose it. So in that sense, the mindful walk is the value added activity. And for this, you need to have a understanding of values, whatever you value, and understanding of your aspirations and others also. And whatever your hopes, you need to understand. And the consequences of your choice is also needed. So when you do walking, mindful walk, and you need to put your attention on feet or how you feel, the sensations, but your mind choose to go with sound. Now your mind is with sound. Now you are getting in a listener position. Now you are a listener. But if you are not mindful with the sound, then you are not accomplishing your goal. So your goal is to be mindful. But if you are not having a positive listener, then you are not mindful. Then you are moving away from goal. And your value is not value anymore. So then you need to understand, okay, now I need to ignore the sound and come back to the sensation. So likewise, you need to have a value, and you need to understand value and the aspirations and the hopes and the consequences. If I am not coming back to the sensation of my body while I am walking, then I am not mindful. The consequences of your choice, if you are willing to listen, then you are not mindful. That means your consequences of your choice is not according to your goal. And then the determination of priority is also difficult, because you are not mindful that with the demands of distraction, so many distractions are happening. So if your mindfulness is not there, then you can't understand, you are distracted. So whenever you can't understand, you are distracted, you can't come back to the primary object, or you can't come back to the prioritized object. So if you can be mindful, if you can practice mindfulness together with prioritization, then you will get a sense of balance, encouraging, healthy lifestyle. So mostly nowadays, people think multitasking is a productive and efficient way of doing things. The multitasking is so popular these days. But multitasking feels efficient, but science shows it makes less productive. It drains focus. Because we are not focusing on the right thing, or you are doing a lot of things at once, and the mistakes are there, more mistakes are there, and take long time to finish the workload, because you are doing this and you are doing that, and the little bit of this and little bit of that. So for doing like this, the multitasking make you unhealthy mind also. Your mind is not happy. because you are not doing anything, even a single thing in the right way. It take long time to finish. So by doing that, you get unsatisfactoriness also. So single tasking, if you are doing one thing at a time and doing it well with the presence, with the aware of what is happening right now, then your focus is on your one thing, and the momentum of or the energy built up from that focus is very strong. So that is why it is so important to keep one thing at a time, not multitasking. If you do multitasking throughout your day, it is so hard to focus. It is so hard to keep the momentum. It is so hard to keep the energy. So the drain energy is the outcome of multitasking. So when we consider those things, if someone can practice mindfulness, the mindfulness in itself is full presence, one task at a time. So about being fully present is something your energy get boost. So sometimes it is maybe studying, maybe you are in a relaxing mood, or maybe you are spending time with friends, or maybe doing day-to-day activities alone. But if you choose something over distraction, the sounds may be, thoughts may be, pains may be, while you are in a mindful walk or mindful sitting. So those are distractions you get. The sounds, thoughts, pains, or something you see while you are walking. So those are distractions. But if you can choose the primary object over distraction, that is mindfulness. And that choice is a smart choice. That choice will not give you any mental or physical pain. Instead, you will release from mental or physical pain. And if you do that, if you practice it again and again, you will find this is the better decision. Coming back to main object, or coming back to the primary object, or coming back to the prioritized object is the better decision, and avoiding sounds, thoughts, pains, or neglecting or ignoring those things are the best thing. So mental well-being is there if you can practice mindfulness, and if you can practice daily base mindfulness, that the mental well-being is there, that provide a good developed mental well-being as well as well-balanced life. So this is what we want actually, well-balanced life. Otherwise, every day we complain about, every day. Most of the people come back home from work and saying, I'm so tired, mentally and physically, both tired. Some is there because we are not satisfied and we are not mindful. So we are having scattered mental situation that make you feel very tired and very unsatisfactoriness is there. So that gives you unhealthy mental condition. So if someone can combine prioritization and the mindfulness, what will happen? If you combine mindfulness awareness with the clear priorities, then you know what is the priority. For example, if early in the morning, if you have a lot of work to do, lot of work to finish for a day, so you prioritize. Okay, early in the morning, this is what I should do. By 10, I need to finish this. So likewise, if you have some kind of schedule early in the morning, so you know what are the priorities. So if you are not mindful enough to consider in the middle of the day what are my priorities and what was finished already or what is next. So if you are not mindful, you can't find it. You can't analyze it. So you will get lost in or among those other distractions while you had the priority, you had the priority list, but you are doing what whenever you are executing that in the middle of the day, you get other distractions. So now you are getting over the priority and go with distractions. So if you are mindful, then you can every hour or every 2 hours, you can just have a good breath and think for a 2 minutes. Maybe you can get deep breath and well focused and keeping attention. What am I doing right now and what have I did and what I am going to do next. So if you can keep that kind of well-balanced account, the daily activities, then it is very progressful, very efficient. So if you can, what I'm saying, you need to have a priority, and if you can combine with mindfulness with the priority, then you will get very attractive daily life. So you are not reacting now because you have priority and you are mindful. So you know what you had done and what you are going to do and what next. So when you are doing like that, you are not reacting and you are starting like designing your life. Now you picture it with the beautiful paint. So you spend your time smarter. So that means less stress. If your stress level is less or little, so you are aligned with your goals and you are happy. So especially one of the goal is happiness and one of the goal is health. So if you are stressless, then you are in a happy mood. So the mindfulness encourage all of us to be aware of our mental and emotional states. So if we know our mental and emotional states, that prompt us to prioritize activities. For example, if you are in a sad mood, you are not going to nurture it. So you need to find something to depress or get rid of that or avoid that sad situation with the happy one or at least a neutral one. So what you need to do, you can practice for 2 minutes mindfulness and have a deep breath. And once you collected your mind in one place, then you can think over the bad mood, over the sad mood, and you can clarify it. Once you clarify your whatever that happened, then the happiness can be come back, or at least neutral feeling would be there. So the mindfulness, if you are mindful enough to observe your mental and emotional state, how you feel and whatever the reason for the feelings and like that, then it is so easy for you to come back to the neutral point. So if you can do that, then it will foster actually to the sense of balance, mental and physical. So if you are choosing those, whatever you choose, with the mindfulness, awareing your physical condition and the mental conditions, that choice can be the very productive choice. So if you are having that kind of blend of managing direct distractions with prioritizing and the mindfulness practice, that way you can keep your energy level in a healthy manner or healthy level and keep your life in a balance with the good well-being, with satisfaction, without drain energy. And one more thing I need to tell, it will not happen all of a sudden. If you practice 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, it will not come. But you need to practice daily, regularly. When you practice again and again, when you realize without having any others advice or instructions, you might get your own knowledge of dealing with other things, and you might get your own knowledge of how to handle things with mindfulness. So you need to practice again and again. While practicing again and again, you get that sampajanya, the wisdom to handle those situations, wisdom to handle the distractions, wisdom to avoid distraction. Whenever you have to avoid, you have to avoid. Whenever you have to handle, you have to handle. Whenever you have to come back to the main prioritized object, then you have to do that. So you need to understand, first of all, what is the position and what are the distractions. If you can analyze those distractions, then you don't need to throw the stones. Then you can get something against it, or you can put some antidotes against it. The distractions are there. Distractions are distractions. If you can analyze what kind of distractions it is and what are the antidote I can give, then it is the most powerful way of getting away of distraction, or how to face with the distraction to keep the priority in alive. So what we need to do, every day you need to practice, and you need to ask simple question every day, and every difficult time, whenever you have to feel, whenever you have to expose to, or whenever you expose to difficult time, then you need to ask yourself what matters most today. So if you are in a walking path, so you need to understand that right now I should focus on walk. Or just an example, when you are in an office, if something happened, then if your mind is going down, if in a negative way, then you need to ask simple question: what is the mostly matter right now? So then take a moment to ground yourself. How you take the moment to ground yourself? You can sit and you can keep your awareness with your body. Once your awareness is with your body, that means you are focused on your body. That means you are avoiding all other distractions. Once you capable of doing that, then the breath or the body scan may come as a very helpful friend. If you can focus deeply, it depends on how you practice. If you are a very good practitioner, then it is easy for you to come to the body or the breath or the body scan, and for 2 minutes you can have a deep focus, and then you can avoid or get rid of your distraction, or at least you can have an energy back to resolve the distraction. So even whenever you are doing that, you need to have a kind of a strong mind to let go of distractions as well. Even in the practice, while you are walking or while you are sitting, when you are practicing day-to-day activities or something like that, then you need to understand how and when to let go of distractions. And once you do like this, and once you are practicing like this, once you are capable of doing this, you will find more energy, less stress in your life. You will amazed with that, and use as a habit. That is what I want to say. So if you are working hard, not working hard, working wiser, then you will have more control of your time and your energy and your focus. So have a good mindfulness practice and combine with prioritization, and have a good, wonderful life. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Venerable Rohini. That we could all do with a bit of advice like that. So next on the agenda is the reports that we have received, as well as any questions if you have any time at the end. And to start this section, I now invite Anupama.
Thank you, Sonali. And thank you, Venerable Rohi, for those very wise words that we can take a lot from into our day-to-day practice. I hope you can hear me okay. Yes? Yeah. Okay. So we'll start off by recapping on the instructions on how to begin your mindfulness journey. A lot of you may already be aware of this and have already been practicing in this way. This is to benefit those who may not be aware, or maybe to recap for those who are. So first and foremost, we would invite you to watch instruction videos on mindful walking and mindful sitting practice. In front of you on the screen is the link to both YouTube videos, which you can watch, and gives you information on how to do this. Once you have done so, you can then allocate a small time on a daily basis to start practicing mindful walking and sitting. Ideally, you would continue this for a few days until you complete at least a couple of hours of practice in total. Once you have 2 hours of practice, you can then go on to the next step, which is to write down a reflection report. So you can present this as a question, or you can present it as statements. You can give it titles such as mindful walking, mindful sitting, and in that you can describe what you felt during these practices and what you recognize, including things like your sitting posture, what were the prominent sensations that you felt, what were the textures you felt, for example, when you were walking and your feet were touching the ground. Pressure points on the soles, how your body weight shifted from one leg to another, etc. For this mindful sitting, you can talk about the prominent sensations such as the incoming, outgoing breath at the nostrils, or the movement of the abdomen as you breathe in and out. Then we invite you to present your report to us either via Google form or by emailing us. Both links are in front of you on the screen, and Sonali has kindly shared it in the chat as well. And in these sessions, we will then proceed to read the reports, which is of great benefit for your own practice, and of course to the others, as the Venerable Rohini or Bhante will give us further guidance based on them. And if you want to look at the past sessions, they are also available to watch or listen to on the Nissarana Vanaya website. All the links of all which have been given to you in the chat. I will now proceed to read the report we have received today. We have received one report on mindful walking and mindful sitting. Venerable Rohini, mindful walking. Duration 45 minutes. Venue compound. Object feelings under feet. First, I walked 5 times to and fro freely. Then I stood at the edge and did a body scan. After that, I started to walk, observing soles of the feet, labeling them as left and right. After a few rounds, I began to walk, noting the lifting and falling of heels. Actually, this made me slightly slower and more calm. By the end of the time, I observed footsteps as lifting, moving, and keeping. This made me even slower, and I was more aware of the process than before. Basically, I felt the hardness and roughness on the floor. I could observe 8 footsteps in a length. Mindful sitting. Duration 45 minutes. Venue. In a room on a cushion. Main object belly movements. I sat and observed posture, and it was like a big stone. I listened to sounds of nature, which calmed my mind and prepared me for meditation. I observed 3 risings and fallings of the belly. Rising was longer than falling. I heard an English song with a fantastic beat. It was like a magnet. It tried to pull me hard towards it, but no sooner I realized my purpose and began to observe. I put my attention to whole body and stayed a while with awareness of the body to calm my mind, which was agitated by the beautiful music. I heard someone calling me from afar, and anger came to my mind. I noted that, and it disappeared. But mind began to justify my anger, reasoning it. Meditation time was over. The alarm rang. Theruvan Saranai. End of the report.
Thank you, Anupama. Okay, good report. Good technical, considering the mindful walk, the techniques are nicely followed. For saying that the under feet, the observing the under feet and the labeling it, and then observing the how it, the heel and the lifting and the keeping, how it appears, and lifting, moving, and keeping. So the 3 steps. So we usually faces 3 steps and then the 5 and the 6, and it increases sometimes. But the techniques are there, and techniques followed very nicely and very in a good manner. One thing I want to say, if you can do without that labeling, so now it is time for you to do that. So in the beginning, we start labeling and noticing and labeling. So that is how we keep the perception. The perception is there. That is what we grab to label and notice. So when the perception is grabbed as a and labeled it, so we processed it. I think I hope the person can understand what I'm saying. When the perception is achieved or take, and you name it, you label it, you understand it and label it. So then the procedure is going little beyond this movement. So this movement is if you can just grab the perception as the perception and then let go. If you can do that, that is the advancement of mindfulness practice. So what I feel, this person can do that. So if you, in the beginning you can do the lifting, moving, and keeping. You can do that, and gradually during your walking period, 45 minutes or 1 hour, then gradually you can drop it. You can drop the labeling and identifying and labeling part. Then it is little bit advance of mindfulness practice. So I think this person can do that. If not, not to worry. If not, you carry on like this. This is very technical, following the techniques very in a sharp manner. This is good. But only thing I said, when you notice and label, So while you are noticing and labeling, the other one is already happening. So it is what you are noticing and labeling is what has happened past, a very split second past. So it is okay. In the beginning, we all do that. We all try to maintain the mindfulness on our body, with our body. So we need to do that. It is technical, really, really technical. But try, if you can, try. In the beginning, label it, notice it and label it. And gradually, if you can drop them, the labeling part. Try it if you can. Okay, if you can't, continue like this. And in sitting also, the belly movement was observed, and it's observed in a nice manner. The rising is longer than the falling. It's observed in that manner also. And one interesting thing is, when someone call, the meditator who wrote this report identify the anger. She could identify, she or he could identify the anger. Unfortunately and unbiasedly, actually biasedly, she couldn't understand, or he couldn't understand the how do you call it? Desire for listening to the music. The anger and the desire, the two sides of the coin. So the anger, it is very easy to identify the anger because anger is like a burning thing. So when it happens, you burn it. Your face is get red and you feel like burning. But when the desire is there, it is so smooth. It is like cream. So you can't feel it. You can't feel the desire. So it is in here very nicely written. The music is there, you like to listen it. But she didn't understand the desire is there. So it's really nicely written. So if this person, if you can understand, or if you can try to understand, whenever the desires are happening, also if you can understand, if you can identify, that's good. Try it also. Even at day-to-day activities or day-to-day time, day-to-day life, try to understand whenever desires appear, okay, this is desire. I like to listen to music and I like to listen it again and again. So this is my desire. When someone is calling me in a wrong time, I get angry. That is hatred feeling. Both are same. So if you can understand, or if you can identify anger, like anger, if you can identify desire as well, that's the gain of the practice. So all the best, very best for this reporter on her practice, and keep practicing like that. And whatever I said, if you can't continue, or if you can't add up to your practice, don't worry. It will gradually come. If someone if the writer is here, is any questions I can answer?
Thank you, Venerable Rohini, for that advice and guidance. Very useful to all of us. I think we can now move on to any questions that people might have, or if they want to make any statements. Kindly raise your hand, Zoom hand. We will invite you to unmute yourself. I think Bandula has his hand up. You can unmute yourself, Bandula, and ask your question, please. Thank you.
Avsarai, Venerable Rohini. First of all, thank you very much for that really good talk. There's a lot to learn. I think the question is also about that prioritization. So when we walk, when I walk, so I used to do the labeling left, right, or the left leg right leg. And so until I get the mindfulness established, so that once the mindfulness established, I gradually drop the labeling. So I thought that's the prioritization as well. So my question is about day-to-day activities. It's not that easy to keep mindfulness for a long time. Say like you do something or you're cutting, chopping or whatever you do at home. So initially come here, I had to do it, but then it slips. So is it good to use the labeling or the manasikara for that type of work? And that's my first question. My second question is also about your talk. And so what's the difference between letting go and abandoning or try to get rid of? Are there any similarities or is it's a different meaning?
Okay,
Thank you.
I will. Thank you for asking that question. First one, it's okay. You can if you are chopping, chopping. You can label like that. If you want to keep the momentum going on, you can do that. Or you are feeling, or cutting. So you can label it. But you need to understand it is not like walking or it is not like sitting while you are doing day-to-day activities. It is continuation of mindfulness is little hard. So once you are in books and Venerable Lokubante says usually after anagami, non-returner. So that kind of mindfulness is with him. After non-returner state. So before that, it is so hard to keep all the time the mindfulness with the day-to-day activities. So not to worry about it, but you can label it. If you want to keep it for a little bit longer, you can do it. And the second question you asked, what is get rid of? The get rid of, when you try to get rid of distraction, the aversion is there, anger is there, the hatred feeling is there. When you avoid, so you are, it's not that level of hatred feeling, but still you have that kind of aversion towards that. But when you ignore, there's no aversion or no desire to associate with, and just ignoring or just letting go without any grudge. So that is the most important thing. You can let go with, I think in here also, this platform I told long ago, most of the time ladies do this. They let go, keeping a tiny bit of anger inside their mind. So that tiny bit of anger built up with little bit, it makes as a wall. It comes as a wall. When it is, when the wall is there, the divorce or whatever the grudge is there. So likewise, you can let go. You can let go means without any hatred feelings, no grudge. So if you are doing letting go, if you do let go, so that means nothing is inside your mind. So everything is finished. Avoiding is before it comes, you avoid. So if you know there's a thief in the jungle, you are avoiding. You are not going that way. You avoid that way and you take the another path. So that is avoiding. So you are not confronting with that. And the other one is what? The other one is get rid. When you are trying to get rid, it is the totally hatred feeling. With that hatred feeling, it is so hard to avoid, or it is so hard to having kind of a neutral mind. When you have that feeling of get rid of it. Can you understand what I am saying, Bandula?
Uh, thank you, Rohini. Well, Rohini, the way I understood is, that try to avoid or try to get rid of, there is a bit of aversion behind it. That's understood. So when let go means, is it like a facing it, but still you have the aversion there? Because when it's something like a thought, because thoughts mostly it distracted me while I'm doing walking or sitting. So when it comes, definitely um, it's so it for a second it grabs my attention, and my sometimes depend on the situation, my mind start talking, get involved with that. So in that moment, so if I I felt it, or there's a version there. So that's, but the let go means it's you face it, and but you're not going to involve. Is it right?
Yeah, you face it. It's already faced. So the let go is something that you already faced. It's happened already. So what you need to do, once it happened, you can dig down to the deep level. What is the reason for that? So one way of letting go is getting deep down to the root level. And what is the reason? Finding the reason. Then once you find the reason, there's a point of let go. That is one way. The second way is when you are having practiced mindfulness in a deep level, then some things and some thoughts appeared as a perception. So that is only a perception. So the perception you can let go. Either you can, whenever the perceptions are there, when you are practicing mindfulness in sitting, for example, while you are sitting, practicing sitting meditation. So when there's a perceptions comes, when the thoughts are coming, and it is not really a thought, it's just a perception, just appear like a thought. But if you are mindful enough, you can let go it. So there's another level. The first one is in a natural world when you are having face to something, it's already happened. So there is a aversion there, the anger is there. Now you can dig down to your mind, finding the reason for that hatred feeling. So when you dig down, so you will find some reasons. Maybe they are reasonable reasons, maybe they are unreasonable reasons. So accordingly, you can get rid of it. No, sorry, accordingly, you can let go. Sometimes you can't let go. Then there is no point of letting go. Then you have to accept it. So the accepting is first step of letting go. So now 3 part I am saying. One is just if you dig down, then you can find the reason. If it is acceptable reason, then you can let go. Second thing is that not the acceptable reason, so your anger is still there. So when there's anger is still there, so it is so hard to let go. It is so hard to let go when the anger is there, when you feel that is not reasonable. So it is very hard to let go. Then whatever whoever make that thing to happen, you can go that way also. What is the reason? If there's a reasonable reason, if there are any part that has happened by my side, so you have to reason it I'm saying this in day-to-day life, if something happened. So then sometimes there is a contribution towards these things to happen. Contribution is from my side as well as the other side. Then the both sides are there. Then you can analyze it. What is the reason for keeping this in my mind? If that person is very close friend or very close someone, it's maybe very hard to forget or very hard to let go. If it is not a close one, maybe it is easy. For example, if it is so hard to let go, then you have to, how do you call it? Just for example, one of my daika has have had a kind of argument with her mom. So that was very, they were very friendly and they were very nice, and at one time it has happened. So that was very hard for both sides. So what is happened, whenever I advise her, no, nothing she can convince to go back to mom and say sorry. So it is so hard. So nothing has active. So everything was failed. So then I also give up giving advice. Then all of a sudden she said, I just let go. I just not deep digging or nothing had done about it. Just she said she let that thoughts to come again and again and not interact with that. The thoughts are coming again and again towards this is completely hatred thoughts. So hatred thoughts are coming again and again. It's not analyzing, it's not visualizing, not nothing. See, just let that thoughts to come. That is also another way of letting go. So you need to find what is the best way of dealing the situation. So mindfulness should be there. Without mindfulness, you can't analyze. You can't do that. To analyze, you have to have good mindfulness. Because unbiasedly, you need to analyze. If you are going to analyze in path, then you need to analyze it without any judgment, without any bias feeling. So you need to be a middle person. Although it is your problem, you have to be like a middle person. So if you are going to be analyzed, otherwise, just let those thoughts to come.
Okay, thank you very much, Wilbur Rohini. Thank you. It's clearly explained.
It is hard.
Thank you, Anu. Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, and thank you, Anupama, also opportunity.
Thank you, Venerable Rohini. That was very, very interesting. I mean, yes. I think we have 3 minutes left. Is that right, Sonali? Do we have time for one more question, maybe? If someone has a question or statement to make, please raise your Zoom hand. I can't see any Zoom hands raised. If I may ask Venerable Rohini, just to continue on what you were talking about. So letting go, does that mean doing it equanimously? Because
yes,
is that kind of
yeah.
If you can't do it equanimously, you then have to look at other ways of dealing with it.
Equanimity should be there. So to look at the things on base of equanimity, you need to be a non-judgmental judge.
Of yourself, is it?
Yeah, you were. No, you need to be outside, look like outsider. Even though it is your problem, you need to be you need to look at it like an outsider.
Thank you. That's very profound. So if there are no more questions, I think I'll hand over to Sonali now. Thank you, Venerable Rohini, and thank you, everyone. I'll hand over to Sonali now.
Thank you, Anupama, and thank you, Venerable Rohini. Yes, as Bhante always says, be like a CCTV, as just observe and not respond. So long way to go for myself, but I will keep those words in mind and try and practice as much as I can. So before we end the program for today, we have an announcement to make. It is on the Venerable Lokubhante's visit to London. I will post these details on the chat so that message seems to be stuck. It is all on. My messaging seems to not go through properly. So let me try one more time. Or maybe it's too many details. Okay, got it. I think I'm trying to include too many details and it's not going through, but I will send it in 2 messages. Yes, I think it's coming through now. So basically, this is all the details of all the retreats. I will continue the last bit on the second message from the 7th onwards. I think I managed to get through to this 6th onwards. Okay. Yeah, so all the details should be here with you on the chat. But anyone else who is unable to see the chat now, you can email us at beginnersenvy@gmail.com and I will give you all the details. These are all the different places, and I don't know if I sent you the wrong message there. Let me see. Oh, no, it's fine. All the contact people of each venue are also marked on that. So you would need to message them to book in for the session because of the limited spacing, that's spaces they have got available. So if anyone has missed anything or would like to know more details, email me at beginnersenvy@gmail.com and I will send you all the details. Most of you must be already aware of his visit, but here's all the details. Right, so with that, I will now, on behalf of all the organizers, I'd like to thank Venerable Rohini for today's program and also our usual guide who helps us, Venerable Homagama Dhamma Kusala Thero, and of course the Chief Abbot of Nissarana Vanaya, Venerable Udaviriyagama Dhammajiva Mahathero. May you all have used this merit to improve your own practice as well. Thank you to all the organizers who are working really hard behind the scene to get this program to you on time, and everyone who participated, anyone who wrote your reports and got in touch in many ways. Thank you to all of you. Don't forget to send us any topic suggestions, once again to the same email or message me while the program is going on. We would like to discuss as well. As usual, our program will come back to you every week, 1 p.m. Sri Lankan time, and we will see you next week, 1 p.m. Sri Lankan time as well. We wish you all a happy and mindful week ahead. I will now end the program for everyone.